Hello, everyone, and welcome to Answer the Call. How we doing, guys? This is the Answer the Call podcast where myself and Croncy talk about certain topics or the week that has happened and open up our Discord for you guys to call in and share your thoughts. We obviously have platforms because we make content. Not everybody has those platforms to share their thoughts to lots of people, so we try to open that door up and let you guys do that. This week, Croncy's feeling a little sick. Yesterday was my birthday, so I'm a little tired, and we are going to keep it pretty short.
And it's a boring week. In addition to all of that, it's a bit of a boring week.
And nothing happened this week, which is kind of what I want to talk about a little bit, because things did happen. They just weren't impactful at all. So we'll talk a bit about that. But as always, before we get into the Star Citizen stuff, outside of feeling sick, how you doing? How you feeling?
I cracked an $1,800 Riftbound card 2 days ago.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, immediately selling it because we need the money for the car that I talked about last week.
Yep.
But that felt pretty good. I've never cracked, like, even in Magic the Gathering, I've never cracked a card that expensive before. So that's kind of cool.
That's awesome.
I was less excited than I thought I would be.
Yeah.
I cracked and I was like, oh, cool.
Let's sell this.
Anyway.
You're the opposite of me. I would have been like, oh my God.
Yeah, no, I always thought I would be like, because I've done like pack openings and stuff for content and stuff before with like Magic. And this is by far the hypest thing I've ever cracked, and I was just so okay about it.
Were you just in the room by yourself, maybe?
Nah, I had a friend who was cracking it for me. He was the one that cracked it, so it might just be because of that.
Okay.
Like it was my stuff, but he cracked it.
Yeah.
Maybe if I cracked it myself, I'm hype.
True.
But yeah, so that happened. So that's pretty cool. How's your week been?
I played a new-ish demo tech preview game called Spacecraft all week.
Spacecraft, okay.
Yeah, they reached out to us and was like, hey, do you want to do this sponsor for this game called Spacecraft? And I was like, oh, I saw like a demo on Steam. Then I was like, oh, this looks interesting. It basically combines No Man's Sky with Satisfactory, but then also does yeah. It's really good. It combines No Man's Sky with Satisfactory, but also has like Star Citizen elements to it. Keep an eye out on the TV channel. I'm gonna post a video on Monday, I think, about it.
Okay.
Where you know how like I've done the videos of like what Star Citizen can learn from Eve. There are definitely things they can learn from this. Their star map is our star map, but not horrible. Their
single player game, I assume.
No.
Oh, okay. Wow.
It's like I should also say meets Space Engineers. So like the servers kind of feel like that. But you're joining their servers. So they're like kind of global things. It's not your own servers that you're making. And yeah, their scanning UI is a carbon copy of ours, but not bad. Like they took inspiration from Star Citizen, like scanning on planets for rocks, but it's like really, really a nicely done, elegant solution in comparison to what we have. So it was like, oh, there's lots of things they can learn here from UI perspective, specifically, but also just like, hey, their crafting is like dialed in compared to ours already, and it looks really good, looks really fun. That's all I've done all week, basically. Let's play that, and it's been a good time. I've not played SC at all. 0 SC this week.
I mean, it's not like there was much to play, right? Like you've the big event that's been on for 2 months is done, right? Like everyone's done it on like 5 different accounts. There was no big PTU this week.
I mean, you want to talk about that? We were kind of talking about that in the intro. Like you were a little bummed out that there was no PTU, no
Yeah, it felt like a weird week, right? So we had the tech preview for almost a week. We had it for like what, like 4 or 5 days or so.
It was, what was it,
And
Friday to Monday morning or whatever for US? Might have
actually,
been
yeah,
different for you.
yeah. So about 4 days,
Yeah.
4 days. Um, and it really felt like, especially with them this week confirming on the roadmap roundup that they've pushed crafting and inventory to tentative, which is
Yeah.
essentially 99% chance it's in the patch.
Oof,
Because I think they've only ever
that
pushed like one
percentage is
thing.
interesting, but yeah.
Well, when things go to tentative, I think only one thing has ever been pushed out of tentative. Notably, it was hacking years ago
True. Yeah.
when they started using the system.
Might
But
as well
yeah,
bring it up and show it.
but yeah, the fact that they did that and then there was no PTU this week is kind of weird. We're in March now, and so I don't know. I was just expecting like a wave 1 PTU, and I was surprised we didn't see it.
Yeah, I was expecting another weekend test because
Sure.
there I think was a lot of feedback on mining. I watched a video from El Guapo, or it wasn't a video, it was just like a piece of his stream that somebody sent me, who's big into mining and was like, "Hey, uh, all of the skill has been taken out of mining now. Like the challenge, it's gone in the playtests that we've done so far. So that's like one of the critiques. Now, obviously, there's a lot of what would it be called, inert that's in there that could be making all the rocks easier to mine. There's less
Yeah.
material that could be making the rocks easier to mine. But there's, even if they didn't make the rocks easier to mine, a lot of the challenge was the combination of all the minerals that were in one rock creating the challenge. So
Yeah.
they really kind of have to go back and address that now with this update that they're doing. Do I expect them to do it in 4.7? I think for some of the minerals they probably should. Think maybe quantanium, taronite, things like that. But because all of the minerals have characteristics, they just need to balloon them up to be that challenge that people are looking for. So like when you come across a quantanium rock, it should be difficult to maintain in the green zone unless you address it with the stuff that you put on your ship, right? Or the gadgets or whatever. So
it's also like so in live, the difficulty of like getting a quantanium rock, like quantanium has its own properties, right?
Yep.
Like the super high instability and all this other stuff. But then the like whether it's got titanium or it's got
tungsten, right? Tungsten's a big one.
Yeah, tungsten's a good one. Whether the titanium affects the rock differently to how tungsten affects the rock.
Yeah.
You kind of want to keep. Oh, I don't know if you want to go as aggressive as it was there, but you kind of want to keep a little bit of it where it's like if you come up against 2 quantanium rocks and they're a little different, whether it's the amount of inert that's in there or it's the quality, you want to feel the difference, I think.
Ooh, that's a really good way of putting it. I think.
Yeah, because you don't need the extra materials to make it feel different. You can just have it do it, right?
So I don't think this is leaking or anything from the tech preview, but one of the top comments under the patch notes in the Evo channel was a guy saying, "Hey, if the quality is higher, I think the challenge should be higher." And I think you're saying it.
I agree with that.
Yeah, I think you're saying it in like a cooler way. Is it doesn't necessarily have to be related to the quality. It could have some extent relation to it, but a range of challenge for certain rocks would be interesting. But yeah, I think they just need to bring that challenge back. Like if mine, because basically, guys, if mining is what it is in spacecraft or whatever, or any other game that you've ever played, like walk up, press E, mine the rock, and do it AFK, that's not what I think a lot of people who enjoy mining want out of it. And it's, I don't think it matters if you have single rocks. I think that's actually like I saw somebody in chat say, I don't like single rocks because IRL, it's made up of other things. I don't care what happens IRL. IRL is fucking
Yeah.
stupid when it comes to IRL excuses for video games are mostly dumb. Bringing in, like, for example, in spacecraft, we have this in Star Citizen as well. Bauxite rocks are bauxite is the ore that creates aluminum. You should know that in Australia. There's tons of it there, and you guys ship it out all over the world.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm obsessed with like shipping. So there's like tons of bauxite ships that go from Australia
Yeah.
and spread all out around the world, and aluminum is made at refineries and stuff from you guys, and that is like an element, or maybe you refine the aluminum as well. But whatever, you make bauxite, but bauxite shipped out as well. So whatever. The dorks in chat telling me I'm wrong, even though I've seen ships filled with bauxite from Australia. But sure, the idea of like placing that name on there and bringing that reality into a game and saying like these are bauxite rocks, you make aluminum from bauxite, that's the stuff we should take from IRL. But like it having multiple ores inside, they could do that. They could do that if they want, but I think the single way is going to be way more fun as a game if they can also include that challenge. Here's why. Because you can come prepared.
Yes.
I want to look for something, and I come prepared with the tools to mine that. But if I come across something else of value, and I don't have the stuff I need for that, for example, I need a lot of tungsten versus I need a lot of quantanium, that'll probably take different tools. And I think that's a cool and fun part of the game. And it isn't realistic, but that's okay, because I think it'll make it more fun. I think it's gamifying in a video game. Holy.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's where my feelings are with that a bit. But yeah, so wishing we had a bit of a tech preview, but I'll just say that's what I'm looking out for in the next one.
Yes.
Is taking that a nerd out, see, did you add any more new challenges and to the experience or whatever. But yeah. There was an SCL as well.
That's what didn't happen this week.
The least important thing that did happen was, is everything okay?
Yeah, I just didn't hear you for a long time just then.
Oh shit, okay. The least important thing that did happen, I would say, was Star Citizen Live.
Yeah.
It was
cool. I want that hairstyle for sure in the game. As someone
legend.
who as someone who has a degree in audio engineering, they all look like that. But yeah, it was cool interviews. The big takeaway I got from this one, because I watched it just today, was like this is one of the only teams that's like growing in Star Citizen, seems, or at least actively growing.
At least talking about growing, yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
The gameplay teams don't seem to be. It's like Torsten.
Yeah. It's just Torsten.
Yeah.
He's in his little box and he's not allowed to come out until he gets mining fixed.
Like, how funny is that? We have gameplay episodes, there's 2 guys. We have an audio episode, there's 4 guys. What are we doing wrong here, guys?
And two of them have joined within the last year. One of them was like 8 months, one of them was like 4 months, right?
Yeah.
Not only that, these guys sound like, at least the way they were talking, these guys are specifically just doing ship sound.
No, I think that's just what the questions were focused on. I don't think so.
Possibly. I mean, it seems like it's also mostly what they're working on.
So
even in that regard.
Croncy, that's so funny. That's all Star Citizen does. They don't do anything else. That's why.
Yeah, true.
They don't work on anything else. They just make spaceships to sell you. Of course, that's all they're working on.
But like it like there will be someone else, presumably not these 4 guys, working on your like gun sounds and your FPS sounds and your creature sounds and all this sort of stuff.
Oh, they said somebody
these
else
guys had
handles
very
weapon
heavily
sounds, apparently.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's just been interesting. The thing as well about them, like all of the things that these guys have done is pretty recent. when they were talking. They said that they've done like 5 ships
Well, yeah,
using
because
this.
he's a new
this
guy,
thing.
right?
Yeah. So this is like a pretty fresh team, which has been really interesting to see. That was my big takeaway. It's just like here's this little fresh team, what they've been doing and what they intend to do. They've been doing a good job. So I've been liking what they're doing.
Yeah.
But obviously, in the terms of like player gameplay, not much came through the SEL. Though I do love that they brought up once again the like, oh, you can't hear stuff in space. And it's like, yeah, you know what I absolutely love doing in my actual real life spaceship that I own is every time someone shoots at me, I start playing combat music. I've got it set to start. But yeah, so it was a low impact one, but I like these ones.
Got it. Yeah. So apparently my mic is really low. I just looked at my mic program, just reset everything, and isn't working correctly. So apologies. I don't really know how to get
I think
too
you're
much
fine
higher.
on my. Yeah, I think you're fine on my end. It might be like an OBS thing or something.
Yeah, I don't know. No, it's not OBS. It's my own mic program. But yeah,
Okay.
I'll do my best for you guys. But it's not going to be the best quality today. But I'm sure it'll be better than most. I don't see it on OBS being very quiet. I see my volume and Croncy's volume exactly the same. So I'm not sure what you guys are talking about. I'll just do my best to be a little bit louder. I'll like yell into it. But I just, there's nothing wrong with talking about audio or whatever. I have no problem with doing SCLs like this. Just don't expect me to get down on my hands and knees and say this was the greatest episode ever.
Yeah, of course not.
I don't care about audio. It's one of the things.
Not as
like Jared has this escapade of I want to give credit to all the people who never get credit. Okay, that's Jared's thing that he wants to do. And there's a reason that nobody else does it is because people just want to play video games, and the unsung things that you don't notice are the things that make the video game, like audio. I'm never going to say that audio isn't important or whatever. I just don't care to hear their life story or what they're working on next or anything like that. It's just not something that matters to me very much. So that's why I said it's a, the kind of nothing burger of the week. Was it enjoyable to listen to the guys talk? Do they seem like cool guys? Hell yeah.
Yeah.
But it's just not my, not anything I find super important.
Yeah, you don't get a lot out of it.
Yeah, I mean, I think most of us are sitting here going, when? For most of like the content in the game, you're not going to learn anything about that, right? Do you want to go sneak peek next? It's kind of a bit of a nothing. It's very obvious what this is. We know it's coming in 4.7, Rockbreaker.
Once again, not necessarily Rockbreaker, but the QV station. Like the Rockbreaker.
That's the mirror. That's the mirror.
No, I know, but I'm still not convinced that the actual activity is going to be available with 4.7. I think they might do like a, you know how they did Onyx Facilities and they gave us like the first 2 wings and then they gave us the 3rd wing after, and that's like the actual activity involves both wings and then go to the 3rd wing.
They might not.
I think that's gonna. Yeah, that's kind of what I think. But either way, it's definitely the location.
It's on the roadmap and hasn't come off yet, so I'm going to continue to assume it's coming.
Well, the locations are on the roadmap.
Don't be like that. Come on. Give me something to look forward to.
Oh, well, you can look forward to making my character that I have to play all of 4.7 because they added crafting and inventory to 4.7.
Yep. I can't believe it, too. I thought I was losing that bet. I was just hoping I wasn't.
Not only that, it was like the next day. They were like, by the way, this is happening.
Yeah, no, I was really hoping to lose that bet. Or not hoping to lose that bet. Expecting to lose that bet.
Yeah.
But yeah. So, yeah. Rockbreaker. There are some rumblings out there that you're right about what it's like, that it's more like Onyx and not like Hathor.
In terms of some more FPS focused and stuff, because that's what I would assume.
PvE focused. Apparently, there's like
Okay.
many, many, many of these locations, and not just a
Right.
few. So yeah,
That's I mean, that could still obviously be fun, but I was certainly hoping a bit more of a Hathori type situation.
yeah. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. That's all speculation. It was all like data mining leak
Yeah.
kind of stuff. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, there's like some locations that could be PvP, but there's a lot of them, and there's
Mhm.
many locations that are PvE. And it's like, okay, but like what rewards do you get at the PvE one versus the PvP one? And then it's in
Yeah.
Nyx. It's all very, very weird. I said this where like I was talking about this on stream the other day. They got everything backwards with the locations and where they choose to put things. Hathor is in Stanton, where you get crime stats for PvPing at a PvP area because they
Mhm.
didn't want you to PvP at Hathor, but it is so designed to be PvP'd at. And
Yeah.
then the the worm is located in Pyro, that is completely not designed to be PvP'd at, and it's in Pyro. And like you just swap those and everything's fine.
I I would I wouldn't swap them. I think both of them should just be in Pyro.
Well, no, they did. I
Like,
mean, you could have it in Pyro, but the design of the worm is definitely to be instanced with the respawns and stuff because it's very,
sure,
very
yeah.
broken as an open world experience
Yeah.
because you could just
Hathor in particular,
respawn
though,
there.
should just be Pyro. The whole point is that
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
an old mining facility.
yep.
So why not put it in the old mining system?
Uh, I don't know, and I
Anyway,
think because they did say the intention was to have the worm come out of it, and the worm they wanted it Daymar
yeah,
maybe.
so it
I don't
wasn't
know.
supposed to be the cave at the end.
Yeah,
It was supposed to wake up the big worm.
yeah. Turns out, I think it was much better as I like it as a cave, and then the worm being a separate thing.
Oh, for sure. They even said that much
Yeah,
in
like
that
it's
video
worked
where they
out
were talking
nicely.
about it. They're like, "Oh, this is cool as hell."
Yeah, and then like you add the geo on top of it, it just like
Yeah,
works
yeah.
really well. But anyway, this is in Nyx, which is Stanton level security, and it's like, oh, if I was gonna do like Hathor but in space, like I still would have done it in
It's
Pyro.
not supposed to be.
The security wise,
Yes,
yeah, yeah, but it is. So it's like,
it is. Maybe that changes soon, but yeah.
man,
I mean, well, presumably this is content that, like, I don't know. Any content could change, obviously, but this is presumably content that will stay past 1.0,
yeah,
and then
for sure. Hopefully,
you know, when it becomes a lawless system again, or at least a non UEE law system, um, like that works, I guess.
yeah, we'll see. I mean, they can. There's lots that they can do to make Pyro a desirable system to go to. I'm not really
Yeah,
talking about that. It was just like, oh, their decision making on like where to place these things has been a bit
yeah.
odd, because it would it would be more
This one
like,
probably also would make more sense in Pyro.
well, I think this one makes more sense to
Right?
just be exclusively PvP kind of thing, just like Hathor. Not
Yeah, yeah.
exclusively, but the combined arms thing about Hathor has been what it's I think it's been the most successful sandbox activity they've done, while
Yeah.
all these other things are very much like story driven PvE stuff,
Mhm.
which is totally fine. But Hathor is really successful, and we thought that they were just going to replicate it, and now
Yeah.
they're replicating like QV stations, but Hathor, and it's just like,
Yeah.
uh, okay, where's the risk?
If there's one thing I don't remember, I don't
Where's the
think they
competition? I
explicitly
guess
said
not
was
risk.
gonna happen. But there was one thing I really wanted to happen, which was like when the like so we know that the idea of the rock breaker is you go through, you turn on the little crack the rock, come back outside and mine the stuff inside.
Sure.
I don't remember if they explicitly said or if I dreamt it that when you crack the rock, people will know. Whether that's like a notification or a
I think you dreamt it.
something. I might have dreamt it, but that
Be-
would be a good way to like having it so that you know. I'm trying to think. Think of we'll use the ASD facilities.
Mhm.
imagine as you're going through the first 2 wings, you pretty much never encounter people, which would be fine anyway, because the first 2 wings you do run through. Like it's just you're kind of just going forward the whole time.
Yeah.
And then once you unlock the third wing, imagine it would say a thing that's like, "Hey, someone's unlocked the third wing" or whatever, and
Yeah.
that can draw people in to come do PvP when you're trying to get the recombinant, right?
So there's
Um,
some contradicting things in chat.
yeah,
Someone said no, they said that he didn't dream it, and then another guy said they mentioned that it will attract attention. But like
yeah,
I went
but that
back
could
and
be
I
anything.
watched, yeah, that again, attract attention can be
Yeah,
NPCs, and I went back and watched the whatever the video part of that, and it
yeah.
was an entirely PVE conversation. There was never PvP mentioned once. So I was like, oh, okay, I misunderstood what
Mm.
this was. Because they were, to me, they were very
Yeah,
clear
probably.
that it was like, hey, this is like the Onyx facilities, but you're going to break a rock. And it was like, oh,
'Cause
I
it
just
also
didn't get it.
yeah.
You know, I thought it
Let's
was
yeah.
Hathor because it looked like Hathor.
Because it might be better as a PvE activity. Just in like think about like we haven't experienced it yet. We don't know 100% how the gameplay works, but presumably you park, everyone gets out, goes and does the FPS, and then comes back out and does the mining. Think of that in a PvP perspective. Unless it was, and also the way that they were talking about it sounds more like a 4 to 6 person operation, right?
Yeah.
It didn't to me sound like it was a huge combined arms thing. Right? So then add PvP to that. They're just gonna sit next to the rock and wait for you to crack it every time. That's kind of boring.
Yeah.
Whereas like the cool thing about Hathor is having to travel between multiple locations with your combined arms, and then also having people doing multiple things at the same time that
Yep.
involved the combined arms. Right? I didn't get that vibe from Rockbreak.
Because it's all
So
inside a station. You're not doing,
yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
at least as far as we know. That's a very good point.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
like somebody in chat said that's exactly what Hathor is, like what you were describing. Um, you're not Hathor. It's like you have your 3 things
Yeah.
outside that you're addressing, then you go up and you're
Mhm.
outside where like ships can come. This is like
Yeah.
it does sound like you probably land
There's a
inside of a
lot more.
hangar and you're
Yeah.
inside a station most of the time.
Yeah, there's a lot
Yeah.
more in between in Hathor, and in all of those in betweens, you have the opportunity to get ambushed or to
Yep.
do your own little ambush or whatever.
Hmm.
Whereas like this would just camp at the end of it.
Yeah.
Whereas like you can't really like yeah, you can server hop, yeah, kind of like what someone said, looking for an open hole, but you can't just like camp the hole the whole time because the people who are doing the event will see you there. Then you can start the combat. Like it's a much different situation, a much more open
Yeah.
sort of situation than what we think this will be, which is that's an
Then
important
the
distinction. We don't
then the
100% know.
resources here shouldn't be good. Cuz like
They should be good, but they shouldn't be.
they shouldn't be Hathor like resources, I don't
Yeah,
think.
no,
And
no.
then if that's the case, what's the point of doing it? Is it more like a guarantee to get higher quality materials again? If it is, then
Different materials, right? Like
different. Yep.
it's the classic like yeah. If you like you, I'm just gonna use random stuff. These recipes won't be accurate. You want to get your Idris, you need your pure Karenite, well, you have to
Yeah.
do Hathor, and you have to grind that a lot. But you
Hmm.
also need mini rock breaker, semi Karenite, whatever. Come up with
Yeah.
whatever mineral it is. And you need a lot less of that, or actually no, maybe you need a lot
An
more of that. Maybe it
abundance
is
of it.
more of a grind. Yep.
Yeah, because there's no risk.
Exactly. Yeah. But so it's still like it's a thing that you will need to do or you'll want to do, but it's just different, right?
Yeah. I mean, there might be haulers because you're opening it could be more like a geode. We don't actually know, but the
It could be regular minerals, right?
yeah,
Like it could just pop up good quality Taranite or something,
yeah, who
and
knows?
that'd be fine because we have the crafting system.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what the material is. It's
Yeah.
it's what quality or how valuable or how desirable that material is, because
Yeah.
I think it's very hard to balance. Um, with that, like, where is the risk here then? That's the question. And the risk doesn't always have
Yeah.
to be PvP. I'm not always saying risk is PvP,
Yeah.
but it is a really good balancing tool of
Yeah.
like, and I also understand that not everybody wants to PvP and not everybody wants
Hmm.
Hathor at every single location. Neither do I.
Yeah.
Neither do I. I am totally fine if this is a puzzle that you get to mine something with and you get something better than what you would for just little
Hmm.
sandbox mining. I'm totally fine with that. But I also think it is incredibly valuable to have the aspect of the game being like the best stuff. The stuff
Hmm.
that you need to do the hardest core stuff is behind a kind of PvP wall because it's the easiest thing to balance. And it also brings people together. Is it toxic? Does it have its issues? Absolutely. Every video game, Zergs take over these things and you get locked out, and it's not the best experience. I guarantee as the Star Citizen community grows, people like myself with smaller orgs are going to get locked out of some of this content, and you're going to have to try and make friends, and it's not going to feel good
Hmm.
all the time. But then you go out and make money and you buy from those people or something. I don't think content should ever be locked from people. So this is not a like there's a very obvious easy solution to solve these problems. Like what's Hathor going to look like uh with that, Chris interview saying how many players he wants in a server, which we can obviously
Yeah.
touch on. Um it it's going to be very contested all the time. But yeah, I don't know. It's hard to say. Like, do people eventually get bored
Yeah.
of that, and then like Hathor was, and then you are able to do it? Like early
Mm.
on, nobody was able to do it because the big orgs were doing it.
Yeah.
You know,
Um, I
I'm
do
more
hope
putting that
if they have
question out there. I
managed
don't have the
to,
answers.
yeah, if they have managed to, add some interesting PvP gameplay into this in some capacity, I would like them to try incorporating like here are your PvE ones that have this reward. Here are your PvP ones that have this reward, right?
Yep.
And take your pick, whatever you want to do, blah blah blah. Would be a little bit more interesting, right? It's kind of like, in a way, the QV stations that we've had in Nix already are the PvE versions of CZs. And so, well, because they are like literally reskins on the
Yeah.
inside, right? It's
Yeah.
it's straight up. But like being able to have that and then also have CZs is like kind of cool. And I would like to see them do a bit more of that, maybe. So hopefully that's the case. But I imagine, yeah, whenever we get our next PTU, hopefully we see this in there, and we'll maybe get a look at it this week.
Yeah. That's all I care about is if you want to make the zone a PvE area so people can experience the cool puzzle, but you
Mhm.
don't get the best reward at the end, that's fine. That's fine by
Yeah.
me. And then the contested stuff is the where the best stuff is, and that's where your high quality stuff is. That's also
Yep.
fine by me. Apparently, there's 20 of those PvP locations. That's a lot.
That is a lot.
So,
But if it is designed for like 4 to 6 people,
who
I don't know.
knows? Yeah, we'll have to see.
Yeah,
I
it'll
always
be
try
weird.
to assume that they're smarter than me and that they know better when it comes to this stuff, but they also don't play their game. So it's like tough to there's somewhere in between is usually probably the right answer of like what we're saying versus what they're doing.
Yeah.
But yeah. So we'll have to see.
Yep.
And yeah, I just this is for me this was when Hathor dropped last year, and we were all feeling
Yep.
kind of bored. And then, boom, we got hit in the face with this crazy thing. Wicklow popped out of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
Not entirely sure that's how it's going to feel in this update as far as this event goes. But crafting
More
is
stuff to
all
do that is
there as well.
enjoyable to grind. I'm into it.
Exactly. It's just
So
I still play Hathor to this day.
Yep.
I
That's what I'm
wonder
saying. Like
if I'm
I
doing
still do
this.
Hathor. I still do Onyx facilities. I did some CZs today actually as well.
Nice.
That type of content that they introduced last year is what they need to keep doing. And if this is on that footing, then sure, let's go.
Yeah. I think this combo of PvP plus PvE might be a really good idea. We just have to see. They always manage a way to screw it up. So hopefully it's not a glorious screw up and it's just a small one that could be like, hey, just take some of these facilities out. We don't need as many. Give a little bit better stuff to the PvP stuff so it's more desirable and less, maybe unique things for PvE, unique things for PvP, and they're both desirable, right? I don't know, but yeah. All right, enough harping on that. I think we harped on that for a really long time, more than I was expecting.
Quickly, because you touched on it, there was the interview from Back Pocket with Chris. So while Chris was down for Enter Atmosphere last week, a local Australian kind of like games journalist group of people, a lot of them worked in like film and TV years ago, running a thing called Good Game, which like the equivalent for my American friends, it's like X Play if it was good. Anyway, he did an interview with Chris. His name's Josh Swifty. He's one of the guys that works there and is a big Star Citizen head. And just talked about the project. And I have a couple of things to say about the interview itself. Was fine, whatever. There was like a little bits of new information, but it was Chris new information, so
it's irrelevant.
It's like 90% could just be talking out of his ass.
Yeah,
like he said like 1,000 to 2,000 by the end of the year with dynamic server meshing.
10,000 being the goal or something.
Yeah. So he said a couple of things like that, but otherwise it was just like, here's what the project is and all this. The reason I want to talk about it is because this is like the first time in a really long time Chris has done a interview not like by Star Citizen, not by CIG.
Yeah.
For the game. And I don't think that's a coincidence. I think we're going to be seeing a lot more of these over the next few months.
You think
in
in
fact,
Squadron?
I know for a fact that there's another one coming next week. Yeah, I think this is them starting to get the media, what do you call it? The media tour going for some Squadron promotion and whatnot.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. It's giving that vibe to me, especially with them when they came down to Sydney for Enter Atmosphere and the way they were talking about everything. I don't know. I'm getting a bit tinfoil hatty. I'm getting a bit copium this last week, thinking maybe there's something to this.
I don't think you're. Well, I don't know if you're right or not. There's only one way to know if they actually start doing it.
Yeah.
But if they were going to start doing it, you would think they would start doing it now. You know? So it's it makes sense.
Like I can't stress like these guys, Back Pocket, are just regular gaming company, like gaming journalist company. This is not like
yeah, their YouTube channel is quite small. It's like not like this.
Yeah,
this
but
it is huge thing.
All the people that work there are huge Australian content creators.
Got it.
They are arguably a bunch of them used to work for Kotaku. Yeah, the names themselves are very big. But that's what I'm saying. The fact that it is a regular group, and that going to them is yeah, no, it's just interesting.
Yeah, it's a good jumping off point. Popping on, I bet they'll start popping on like people's Twitch streams and stuff like that too. Not mine, of course, but everyone else's that maybe at some point. But I think it'll be if time will tell, but it gets me nervous if this is what they're ramping up, because then it really feels like holiday 26, and it's like
maybe
is the timing of this?
I think someone
in
my chat said something that like I agree with, which is like if they don't make an announcement at Summer Games Fest, it's not happening this year, and I still agree with that. I think if they don't announce by then, it's probably too late for this year release.
I don't care if they're late either. Does anybody honestly care? I
care in that it'll be
they
funny.
Succeed. Maybe, but like I only care that it's successful.
Yes.
I don't care if it's a little bit later to just avoid certain games. That's it. I do
I
not
don't
care.
know if it needs to. Well, okay,
It does.
it
It
needs to avoid.
absolutely does.
It needs to avoid GTA 6, but
Yes.
like, I don't. Well, GTA 6 isn't coming out this year, no matter what people say. So,
I hope you're right, and then they can release it. That would be good.
yeah. Because also, even then, with the avoiding GTA 6 release, you just need to be like 3 months either side of it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep. 3 months before or 3
Um,
months after, and you're going to be
yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
But and that's it. That's what I mean. Like, it's not that big of a deal if they delay it for a few months.
Yeah. Yeah.
More time to polish even more bugs or instability or whatever, and then yeah, just not having to do that. Like, I was explaining it to my cousin yesterday because he's like, "What's going on with your game?" And I was like, "Not much, but the single player one might come out soon." And he was like
Yeah.
kind of interested in it, and I was like, "But yeah, it can't, like, it all depends on what happens with GTA because they cannot release at the same time as that. It would be suicide."
I don't know if it'd be.
It is. It is. It is.
Obviously,
There's
it would
no
be
way.
bad. But I don't know
Everything.
if it'd be suicide.
Dude, look at what we were just talking about. They went on this YouTube channel to try to get the word of mouth out. That's all they have. And when that game releases, there is no word of mouth other than, "Oh my God, children are playing this game. Look at the crazy things that they added into GTA. Florida Man, insane stuff." That's all the news is going to be. It's going to be parents. It's going to be the people freaking out about the things that you could do in a game that you probably shouldn't, which is every GTA ever, right? And that's gonna be, it's gonna be all, the entire world is gonna be talking about that game. People who don't play games, people who do play games, it is going to consume the entire world's media around video gaming, period, for a number of different reasons. There is absolutely no reason to release a game when that game releases because you cannot. No one will know you exist. It's impossible to compete against because, again, like your regular news channels that
what if it's bad?
Then
what if the trick is
but if
GTA 6 is bad, release at the same time, so that when GTA 6 is bad, people want to play another game.
Everyone will just be talking about how it's bad.
Yeah, true.
Like, you cannot win. This is a losing battle.
Yeah.
And if he is that delusional that he thinks he can compete with it, and like he said in that one article, he deserves to fail.
Yeah.
He deserves to fail. And if he's doing that, he is gambling with all of our money. That's the first time that it's like, hey, that's our money that you're gambling with, kind of, that I would ever say that. And a lot of people say that all the time. That is gambling, and that is gambling with the future of the game that we want to play. It's not really with the money. It's the future. It's the future of the game that we want to play, and I don't think that's the right thing.
Also, to do. I'll say specifically that there are parts of me that disagree that like every game that would release at GTA 6 would fail. A single player story game in particular is very susceptible to like that being a problem, obviously.
Yeah.
Right?
Like, it depends on what your goal is. A game that's 14 years in development that absolutely needs to be a success and make lots and lots of money will fail if going up against GTA.
No, I was going to say, you did have to say that last bit because that applies to both GTA 6 and Star Citizen.
Yeah. But we know
14 years in development that cannot fail.
But we know one of them is going to succeed no matter what, most likely. At least initial sales.
Let's go.
Yeah, at least initial sales, it will.
Squadron already has sales, Mike. It's already ahead.
Dude, I want to talk about the comment about the number of players. You kind of brushed over it. I think even though it doesn't matter what he says and if it's true, if it will happen or not, but he just implied that's our goal. That's our goal. Yeah. And I was talking about it because I reacted to this, but I didn't feel it was appropriate to post the react for a few days like I do with everything, and it had just come out, so I haven't posted it on YouTube yet. But like, one of the main things I was talking about is 10,000 like 10,000 in a shard sounds like a really, really good number for a game like Star Citizen. Eve does really well with about 30,000, and the play space in Eve is significantly larger, the active play space. Yeah. Where Star Citizen is really spread out, but there's no actual play space, and most of it is just empty that you never see, right? It's just for scale. And the 10,000, if we're all playing in the same shard, I think that will if we're able to, and our clients don't melt, I think that will be that living, breathing universe that
Yeah.
I'm looking for. I think
Yeah, for
that'll
sure.
work.
I was a little concerned just in that, like, yeah, obviously you need the dynamic server mesh for this to work, because otherwise you're gonna have 10,000 people go to
Yeah.
New Babbage,
Yeah,
and then
just
good
let me
luck
jump
ever
in for
playing the game.
yeah, let me
You
jump
know,
in for
right?
half a second. Hold on one
Yeah.
second, because everyone's just going to make a comment about what I said, and I want to be very clear. I'm not saying it's possible. I'm not saying it's going to work. I'm not, huffing on the copium. I'm just saying 10,000 in a given shard is a really, really, really good number for
Yeah,
like
yeah.
5-star systems, the limited play space that we have. If it's possible, it is a good number. It is a good goal to go for. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
All right, continue. I
And
apologize.
yeah, no, I am agreeing with that. I'm saying that, like,
The
with
chat
those,
wasn't.
like, when I was first thinking about it, I didn't even process server meshing.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's terrible. What are you doing, Chris?
Yeah.
But like, thinking about it more, I was like, okay, cool. So let's say you do have this 5 systems. You've got 10,000 people there. Yeah, in your Lawville, let's say there's like 500 people at the one time. Maybe 250 of them are in 2 like dynamic like instances, right?
Hmm.
But then when you still go out to, you're in Nyx, you're in the asteroid belt, 10,000 people would still be enough that you could encounter people. Like, you could have them all in the one thing.
Yeah.
I'm agreeing. I'm saying 10,000 does sound. I live for the day that Australia has 10,000 people in Shard.
Well, you
Please,
probably won't, but
please.
like
Yeah.
US and EU servers probably will, right? Maybe Asian as well.
Yeah. Well,
Um
if the game's successful, yeah, there will
yes,
be, right? Like,
exactly. This is all assuming
and yeah,
certain
you
things.
you mentioned Eve, 30,000 people, right? Well, let's just say at bare minimum we get 10,000 in each region, which we have 5 regions, 5 regions.
Yeah.
Europe, US West, US East, Asia, Australia. Um, in that situation, yeah, I think it would be. I think it would be fun.
Yeah, I think it would be amazing. It
Yeah.
just they'll instance things, and they'll keep it where we're only seeing 50 to 100 at a time, but those areas that you're seeing those people should feel a little bit more a lot more dense, a lot more jam packed. Contested areas are always going to be contested, hopefully, and
Yes.
if you're looking for that kind of content, that sort of thing, asteroid belts may end up mined out and need to respawn, and the stuff around that. Players will constantly need other players for other things if resources are limited. Hopefully you're blowing up people's bases in pyro, and they're blowing up yours, and all that kind of stuff, and orgs are active. You never know. Yeah, they're mentioning hanger queues, right? Like that is something that has to massively change if they
Well, but once
these are
again,
the
that would
goals they're
be
going for.
difference. That would be difference with sorry, with server meshing.
They're going to
Well,
instance the
hanger queues aren't
cities.
going to work, but with server meshing, it should be fine,
They're
right?
going to
Like,
instance the
yeah,
spaceports. Is what
exactly.
they'll
Yeah.
do.
So you'll have like 200 people at Lawville maybe, and so maybe you'll get a hanger queue that is like a minute, but you'll have overall like 1,200 people at Lawville in your different instances of servers and stuff. Like, ideally it shouldn't be a problem with what they're trying to. It will be, but
Yeah.
ideally it will.
They'll it's something that is obviously has to be addressed. Whether or not they address it right away or elegantly is.
It's the biggest problem with the game. It is like, and has always been the biggest problem with like the scope of the game of the last like 8 years. Well, actually, pretty much whenever they were like, yeah, it's not going to be loading screens to land at landing zone.
Yeah.
Is like, if you want this to be a space MMO, and you want this to be a seamless MMO, you're going to inevitably get into the problem of actual person traffic.
Yep.
And you need to solve that solution.
I do not want it to be. I want loading screens when going into my hangar. I don't care. I'm fine with that.
Yeah, but that's a decision that
That they have already
unfortunately was
made.
12 years ago. Yeah.
Yep. And that's it. So yeah, it's it's something that they obviously have to address if that's their goals. That's all. And then the 1 to 2,000 players, I think you'll see
Yeah.
like more contested Hathors, more contested zones, but I think it'll still feel pretty empty. Play space is still
You
pretty
could yeah, you
wide.
could do 1,000 now and you probably wouldn't feel very different,
No,
except for like during your Invictuses and your IAs and stuff.
sure.
But I think that is the limit before you get into dynamic is 1,000. I think like you while you yeah, like you said, it can still feel pretty empty. 1,000 is still too many people without dynamic server meshing for it to just go to shit. If we have any event, 1,000 people is far too many.
Yep. Yeah.
So
100%. 100%. But all right.
yeah,
I
you
want
wanted
to
to
talk.
talk about these ship sales in game.
Yeah, and out of game. Both were
Yeah, that's
extraordinarily
right. We had both. Yeah,
weird and low effort, but the main one is the in-game one. RSI
yeah.
ships are off 25%, 20%. They're 20% off. Oh, wow, very exciting. Obviously, they have their marketing
Mm.
timelines and things like that. And they've set this in stone. I assuming they were hoping that they would have a wipe by now or exploits fixed or something, right? So the timing of this generally absolutely terrible. Who cares? Nobody's buying these ships for the most part. And the argument would be, well, hey, Mike, there's some players who haven't exploited. There's some players who don't play that often. There's some players who don't have a lot of money. You would be right.
Mm-hmm.
Do they know this event exists? Is this announced anywhere?
It needs to be announced in game, right? This is one of
Yeah.
those things that should be not just a journal entry, but like an actual. Every other MMO in the world, if they are having an in-game event like this, right? One that's a little bit more disconnected, like
You
it's
can't
not
even
like a
buy the
lore
Polaris.
event, it's not like a thing. Yeah. But they would have a thing the second that you got into the game that would be a notification that pops up or
Yep.
a little blinking light or a God forbid a like actual voiced advertisement that you hear in the spaceport
Yep.
about Billy's selling his RSI ships, right?
Yep.
And so it feels like nothing. This is why before the podcast I don't even think this is an event. It's just nothing.
No, it's not an
It's
event. The word event is going to
yeah.
be used against me with this, the titles and
Gotcha.
stuff, but it's not intentional. These are these like mid-patch content
Yeah.
drops that they want to do. And I really, really want to hammer home. This is a very, very good idea. Very good idea to do. Discount ships is a great thing to do. Discount limited limited ships the way they're doing it with RSI or Origin or whatever. Crusader. It's a very, very, very good idea to do. Guys, when I open the launcher, there is no mention of this anywhere. None.
Is there actually?
Yeah, I recorded it for Week in Review. No mention on the launcher. There's
the mention of Origin ships being on sale.
Of course. You could buy ships for real money on the fucking launcher, but nothing about the game that we play. Great job, guys. You're killing it over there at CIG. You guys are the best. So it's one of these things where it's like, I want to praise you. I want to praise you for like thinking of a good idea for an in-game thing. Timing of it, yes, it's horrible. Nobody cares about buying ships right now. They know they're going to get wiped, and they know that and everybody has too much money. We all know this already. But in general, if this happened post-wipe, this would be awesome.
Yeah,
this would be awesome. People would be buying their mantises
even like
cheaper
your monthly
connies.
Your monthly deal, right? Like it'd be interesting.
Yeah.
Also, just because a couple of people in the chats have asked, because they don't even know. Yeah, there's an in-game discount at the moment going for RSI ships.
Yep,
Was it
20%.
25%?
20%.
20%. Yeah.
And the other thing in the game, it's not even showing you that they're discounted. The price is just different.
Yeah.
So nobody even knows it's happening. So the people who regularly follow the game, watch our podcast, watch our videos, they all have billions of credits because of all the exploits. Money's being passed around all over the place, right? Especially if you have a name that's like A through C, it starts with, you're just going to have tons because people are going to go down the list and give you money. And the people who need this have no way of knowing it exists. So that's the low effort that I'm talking about, is that like not understanding the audience or who this is even for and promoting it to them. Like if you're promoting this on Twitter, they're probably not following you that much on socials. If they're not watching Star Citizen YouTubers because they would already have all this money. So it's not really relevant to them. So where you have to promote this is, like you said, a pop-up as soon as you get in game. Eve does that. Or at least have it on the fucking launcher, guys. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, it's not worth getting this upset about, but at the same time, it's like, it's so simple. It's like if we always make the simplest, smallest mistake, no wonder when there is an actually big event,
I've lost you again,
that it's completely broken. Can they hear me on my stream? I don't know what's going on.
Chat, what is he saying?
Hello, hello, hello.
Nope. Oh god.
It's Croncy's internet because he's coming.
Oh no,
in
it's
weird.
me, isn't it? It's gonna be me.
It's Croncy.
No, it's just not coming through Discord. Actually, I can see it's not coming through Discord.
What the heck?
There you are. Hello.
Okay. You.
It wasn't my fault. Let's go.
Your video buffered, so I think it might be.
It might be a Discord. Thing.
Yeah, Discord Australia thing. Like, it's not here either. This was mentioned by somebody in chat.
Which that would have been a cool place to put it.
Put it on the loading screen. Just put it somewhere, man. That the regular players who just play the game. I do want to point out this
is this is not a because we do harp on marketing a lot. This is not a marketing thing. This is like an actual gameplay thing that they would be responsible for. And yeah, it would just make more sense if they put a little bit more effort into it and let people know about it and maybe made a bit more fuss about it, right? I do wonder outside of that, why. And I'm wondering if they're trying to test it could be the economy team testing what kind of prices people are more likely to buy items at.
I think they're just seeing if they could do these kind of discounts. So like
possibly,
they could do it, just, hey, did we do it? Did it work? Sure. But I really don't want them to look at this.
Run it back for Origin or whatever. Run it back for Drake or whatever.
The reason I'm getting so heated about it is I think it's a really good idea, and I don't want them to base how badly this one is or how uninterested people are in this on the idea itself. It's on your execution, CIG. This is your fault that it's not successful. Nobody else's. It's not the idea's fault. Because I think the idea itself is good. It's just you didn't tell anybody that. Like, I have to find some obscure post on Spectrum. Who the fuck that plays the game, casually is going to Spectrum to see this news?
Yeah.
Nobody. So, yeah. So I hope they keep doing it. I hope it is successful. I'm assuming it's not, but we'll see. And then obviously you have the Origin event where the amount of
it's just a ship sale.
Yeah, but the amount of arms being thrown up in the air from some of our more white knighty type community members was.
Don't they do this? They do this every year though.
Right? I know.
If I'm not mistaken.
I think they did it last year or a couple years ago.
Yeah, the random ship sale at a random time of the year happens every year with whatever. Like it usually has a theme of some kind, but whatever. Yeah. I don't think this one matters too much. I think people are maybe just mad that there was nothing new with it.
Yes. And it's this is, guys, all this company does is sell spaceships. And you've defended them for 10 years. And all of a sudden, this is what bothers you? I don't get it.
It's because it's Origin. They hate Origin.
I don't know.
All my boys hate Origin.
To me, it was I very clearly knew what this was. It was
Mhm.
all the people that have bots that collect limited ships and sell them on the impound or whatever. Uh,
Yeah,
this is their event, and this is for them.
yeah.
So, the low effort here was not adding anything interesting in here for the regular person, having an actual origin celebration of some kind or
Yep.
whatever, right? But again, who cares? It's just a ship sale. I don't know how much money they
Yep.
made. I'm sure they sold out of their 890 jumps in minutes like they always do. I don't know who's buying them and who's buying them from the persons who are buying them, but it just
Yep.
happens every year and it's a non issue. I wish the people that I saw
Mhm.
complaining on the internet complained about the actual gameplay the way they complained about this because I was dumbfounded about it. So yeah, I just wanted to point that
This
fun out.
does It does remind me of a thing though from the SCL, which they were talking like it was a little joke, but they were talking about the horns,
Okay.
like gift ships horns and stuff. And I've been like racking my brain. I was like, what other stuff could CIG sell that are basically cosmetic that would not get me mad? Give me some novelty horn sounds on a ship. Give me the bloody Dukes of Hazard on a random horn. They would make billions, Mike.
It would kill immersion though.
Ah,
I don't care
adds to
about that.
immersion. You
Yeah,
don't think people are doing that in the 2900s? Come on, Mike.
of course. Oh my god, Foxhole, the amount of honking people do is
Yeah.
insane. Oh yeah, it's wild. But yeah, I think that's it. Outside of
Yeah.
Jump Point, if you guys are subscribers, I will not show the actual subscriber based content, but they show the outside of at least outside concept art of the new stations that are coming to Nix. They
Yeah.
also gave a description of it, which was essentially your like gaslight in Pyro. It's got
Yeah.
a place to spawn. It's got a exterior freight elevators. It's got everything. It might have some shops in there. It's got everything you need. And then there will be missions for like deliveries and things like that come and go from there. So
Hmm.
yeah, that's that's the stations in Nix. And it just feels like it doesn't feel like Nix and Pyro are safe necessarily, but they don't feel like the Wild West when they do that to me.
Yeah.
I don't get that Wild West space feel from
You d-
Star Citizen yet. Yet.
yeah, I think that's
Base
more a
building
problem with
might
the
help.
game than it is necessarily. Yeah, right? Like the those sort of features will probably do a lot more to it than some of these locations.
Yeah.
Because like we were talking the other week about how like there was this whole thing that CIG really wanted refueling to matter in Pyro.
Mm-hmm.
And then it turned out refueling sucked ass, and no one actually wanted to do the gameplay themselves, at least not in the ways that they do it in other games, right? And so, like, you have to replicate those feelings in other ways in this game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hard to disagree with, but yeah, I don't know. That's all I got for today. So if we want to go to callers,
Yeah.
we
I
got
mean, I'm
two.
surprised we got an hour out of the stuff that we were talking about this week.
Yeah, no, I feel really strongly about that discount event because
Yeah.
I think it would have been and could be really successful
Yeah.
after a wipe.
Yeah.
So
Also, to be clear, just on what I mentioned, because I know people will screw the context up. I know people want to refuel other people. People do not want to be refueled. That is the like biggest problem with that gameplay loop. Is people would rather just backspace.
people want to be refueled if it didn't take 20 minutes
Exactly.
to do it.
It
Yeah.
is too much of a hassle.
Yep.
And it is like the same amount of time to just reset.
Yep. All right. Let's go to colors.
Let's do it. And if you want to call in at any point in the future, make sure you go into the description below, check the Discord link, head to the green room, and chat.
All right. We got Ultimate Penguin.
Hey, how you guys doing?
Good.
Sick.
Yeah.
Radical. I wanted to talk a bit about the Alliance Hate event, specifically from like a new player's perspective. I've
Mhm.
tried out free flies in the past, but this is the first time I actually dove in, and specifically like this, I had a great time participating in the giant server-wide parties of that the
Yeah.
event was having.
There was
Uh,
some cool stuff about it. Like the fact that it just made it too easy was a little annoying. But I
I
did
agree
like that it was
100%.
like there were definitely moments during it where I got together with people to do the event, and that was cool.
Yeah, exactly. The problem was just the numbers on the missions, right?
It was the
No.
numbers on the missions,
Um,
but it was also like getting the full credit for the share and all this sort of
yeah, no,
stuff. It was like there was
yeah,
I
like the
don't know.
problem was that the most efficient way to do the missions was to take the easiest one at the lowest level and do it solo.
Yeah, that as well. Like that was really stupid.
But I think the event did some things really well, and I think it also was a massive disappointment and left a lot on the table.
Yeah.
And I kind of want to get like so like in MMO basics, like there's three, I guess, weight classes of
Mhm.
like player groups. You have solos, you have small groups, and large organized groups.
Yep.
And like I guess it sounds like Rockbreaker is going to be like a good small group content, which think it's been missing. But
Yeah.
one of the things the event did well was it encouraged a lot of cooperation between those different group levels of players. So like I was running a solo combat mission, and then I was like getting bored, and I was like, "Hey, does anyone want to do harder ones?" So then
Yeah.
someone's like, "Hey, I'm in a fighter. I'm in full lasers." Like, okay, I'll do ballistics. Someone else goes, "Hey, me and my three friends are in a Perseus. We'll meet up with you." The large org goes, "Hey, we're gonna pull our Idris, and we can do these awesome missions." And that was like a really cool, like spontaneous social like engagement that happened. And that's like I think Mike, you'll agree. That's like foxhole stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The issue with that event in particular is that your experience was the exception rather than the rule, where the rule was to sit at a space station and spam left bracket the entire time and not engage with anybody.
And that's kind of where I think the event massively failed is while
Yeah.
all of us
Yeah.
combat people in the group were doing that, the only interaction and gameplay engagement we had with the cargo haulers and the industry people missions was just hitting left bracket.
Yeah.
And Croncy, I went back and listened to some previous episodes. You mentioned wanting more complex missions in the game. I think you guys are going to see instantly where I'm going with this. Because I'm new to the game, right? So like the large org is pulling their Aegis. I'm like, man, I wonder if they're spending a lot of money on ammo. I bet that must be a big hit. And I was like, hey, like it seems like kind of a waste for you guys not to have like a salvage group out here with us.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
how cool would it have been to have a mission where instead of just, hey, do this mission, get defense progress, this is industry progress. If there was a mission that was industry and defense progress, where Levski's
Yeah.
like, hey, we need RMC, these pirates are stopping us from getting it. Go out there and kill their fleet and then bring us back, their ship and their bones.
I
You
put my
could
head in my hands when
uh,
people say this. Not because you're wrong at all. It would be so cool. It would. But I am so tired of that not being a choice that you make organically
yeah.
Mhm.
on your own. I am so tired of missions that don't work and are uninspired and are paying way too much money and breaking the economy and all those things when it should be a choice that you can make to salvage the wrecks after you kill them with a bounty, to like easily scan for them after, be able to like save your location, go back to a place that had a big battle and salvage it, and that stuff is actually worth it and valuable to you. So like in the
Mhm.
grand sandbox, the materials and the things and all of that stuff is worth it for somebody to do. And it may not be worth
Mhm.
it for your time or whatever, but it would be for somebody else's. I hate that missions are always, and it feels like our communities, our community and the developers have the same mentality as like missions have to drive our content. They do not. They do not. The need for the material, the need for money, and the gold sinks and the material sinks are what should drive that mentality. So I do
Yep.
agree it would be very cool to have a mission that actually does that, but that shouldn't be the driver that is like,
Well,
I only do it in this mission because it's telling me to. I should do it all the time if I, want those things.
yeah,
Does
for
that make
sure. But
sense?
like, so you can even tie it out of a mission. It's just like, in general, Mr. Billy Bob, the mission giver, is kind of always trying to get ice or something, right? You get like these events where you've got a security contract to go and mess some people up, and there is a cargo mission, uh, uh, a cargo ship there that
Yeah.
has a bunch of ice in it. Cool. Now I can do something extra with that ice. You can make it a part of the event if you want, and it could still be interesting.
Yeah, but
You
why
can
does it
make
always
its
have to
own
go
thing,
back to
still
an
be interesting.
NPC?
It
Why
doesn't
doesn't it?
have to. I'm
Yeah.
just using that, like, for an event, it's going to go to an NPC. Like
It doesn't
that's just that specific instance, right?
doesn't have
For
to.
a I think for events it kind of is, because that is a built-in
Hear me out.
just thing.
Hear me out.
What way does an event make it not an NPC? Give me an
Oh,
example.
crazy event in EVE
Yeah.
Online that happened. Like, I
Yep.
wish I engaged with this more. I wish I knew how important it was. I want to do
Mhm.
more ice mining in EVE Online. The last winter event, if you completed the track, you got a blueprint for a ship called the, like, Pioneer something, and it is an ice mining beast. The event stopped. There are no more of those blueprints. So you earn the blueprint for
Yeah,
yourself,
sure.
you create the ship, and you use it for something else. So like for me, it would be like the event guys are dropping ice, but ice is incredibly valuable to uh you know for something. Let's just say fuel.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
these guys are like packed in ice, or the ships that they're using are created with a material that's um you know in demand by players at the moment. So
Mhm.
instead of forcing you to salvage it with the mission, it's valuable to you because you want to craft with it, right? Like somebody in chat was saying, like, I
Yeah,
think
yeah, yeah.
crafting will help with this. That's what I'm talking
Yeah,
about. The
I
sandbox.
think there's a misunderstanding.
Okay, okay,
I'm not saying that the mission is requiring you to do like a specific task. But like what you just mentioned there was essentially a reward incentive, right? You have a reward
correct.
incentive that then leads to much more sandbox gameplay. Awesome.
Okay,
Hell yeah. Love that.
sure.
That shit's sick.
I just don't want to just
I
drop
was
it
just
off to an
mentioning like,
NPC. I want to use it. I think that that's something that we just don't
yeah,
do
that's fine.
enough in SC. That's the thing
Yeah,
that
yeah, yeah, 100%.
I'm hanging on.
That I was using the example that I was giving was more just to say like you have a core activity that CIG have created for you,
Sure.
right? Which, let's say in this instance, is an AA mission. And then within that AA mission, you have more things like how we used to with, you know, you would do
Cargo
bounties
on the
and you would
ship.
have cargo
Yeah.
on the ship, that sort of
Mhm.
stuff. And then also having the ability to, if you wanted to, have that stuff be a turn in for reputation. And you can start going that route. Have it
Okay.
be a
Okay.
material for crafting. Have it go that route. And then you have then sorry, Penguin, that we're taking up all this time. But we like these ideas.
Your
They're
show.
fun.
Yeah.
You've then turned this one event into a multifaceted,
I understand.
multi-depth activity.
I just got held up on like, but then we give it to a mission giver, and I'm like, no,
Yeah, no. It's just like
no, I don't want to
sometimes
do that.
yeah, but sometimes you do, because guess what? The reward
do.
that mission giver is going to give you is that exact item that you just mentioned.
Exactly. Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
it could also, there's so much more opportunity to have sandbox ways of solving the missions. Like,
Yeah.
what's this, the space yacht boarding mission? The first time I played that was years ago in a free fly event, and half the walls were see through, right? And it was still one of the most
What was
compelling
that
things.
today?
It actually it has different problems today.
Yeah.
But it was one of the most compelling things I've ever done in a video game, even though it didn't work. And I just like can't get out of my mind like how cool would it have been if Levski, like there was a whole sea on the way to Levski and it got boarded, and so now we have to clear it out. But like the space yacht had like the, hey, if you don't get to the thing within the certain time limit, you get like you don't get as many rewards. Like, hey, the pirates rigged up the quantum drive to blow up. If you don't clear them out, that gets blown up. Now, how are you going to get that cargo back? Are you going to get a spare quantum drive? Are you going to bring your own haulers? Like, I just feel like there's a lot of opportunity in the mission system, and instead it's
Mhm.
just A to B, right?
It has been for so many years, right? They do, for their credit, especially last year, they did start adding in, little bits here and there to make it more interesting. We know, at least rewards wise, to make more interesting, we're getting blueprints now, right? So there's aspects that are getting added. I think for my like uh sort of enjoyment, the best thing has been like making the Onyx facilities these like little choices, right? So you go and do your Onyx and you choose either we'll kill Sam, or we go and put all the bodies in the box, or we go and I don't
Oh,
remember what the
spoiler shit.
third
I'm
thing
new.
you
Calm
do
down.
is. Oh
Not
no,
messing. Messing.
there's bodies in a box, guys. You haven't done this content. It's been out for 8 months. Um,
It's an alpha.
but yeah, like giving us the choices of messing around with those has been pretty cool. So hopefully we get more of that, and I assume we will because that content was pretty well received.
Yeah, I think CZs have been pretty good at doing that, where it's like,
Yep.
oh, I'm into FPS. Well, then I go and I'm getting all the weapon attachments that I'm looking for,
Mhm.
or I really want the um, ship weapons that are at the end of the number 7 key one. I'm forgetting which location it's at right now, and
Yep.
or I'm just purely looking for PvP, or I'm trying to get the cards to get the spaceship. So it's like
Mhm.
this one location is offering a lot of opportunities and cool things to do, and I think
Yeah.
that that's
Multiple reasons to go there.
yeah,
Type.
and what you do after you go there, I think is the big
Mhm.
point that you made that I really vibe um, with that mission type thing that Penguin brought up. But yeah, anything else, Penguin?
I guess I would say, like, real quick, I mentioned like there's the three different player group sizes earlier. It feels like
Yes.
in Star Citizen, when you're out in the world, one of the big hindrances to the sandbox gameplay is the only interaction you can have with another group of players is just trying to kill them.
Tends
Right?
to
It's
be,
either that
yeah.
or you ignore each other. And I think one of the big problems the game has right now is that if two groups meet each other and they're of different weight classes, the smaller one's just gonna have an awful time. And the more money the larger group spent, the worse it sucks.
Yep.
And so I guess we were talking about with Rockbreaker maybe being more split out. That sounds like it's more smaller group content, which is kind of
Yeah.
disappointing from what I thought it would be, but the game desperately needs that. And
I think it's kind of always struggled with like your traditional party gameplay things, if that makes sense. Like, so the
Yeah, like
missions that we
five
used to have
mans.
were, yeah, exactly, your 5 man. The missions we used to have were all solo, and then we got like Xenothreat was like the first multi crew, and that was 50 people. So like we went from solo to everyone on the server at the time. Um, they started to introduce some ones that were like more multiplayer friendly. Like we had the wave missions got introduced originally at the bunkers.
Yep.
Those sort of ones lended themselves more to multiple players. But then we started to have the problem of like the reward wasn't worth it for multiple players, and that's been a really big problem forever. It's still a problem now that they haven't solved.
Yeah, it's either too
Um,
much or not enough.
Yeah, it's never really worked. And so there is, I think, the closest they've gotten is honestly Wicklow and having these goals that are more for multiple players. And that's kind of worked because it's like, well, money's irrelevant, but like we can all go help get some Karenite. Sweet, right?
Yeah.
mhm.
And like yeah, we mentioned the five these medium groups or small to medium groups. Once again, I keep bringing up Onyx facilities because it is right. Although also like the irradiated Valakar, similar sort of thing, is like yeah, these ones lend themselves more towards that group size, and it feels more worth it to do it at that group size. So they're hitting on it now, but I think they've still not gotten there in terms of like like I don't know. It's hard to justify having a small group still, but I don't know.
Yeah.
And I guess last comment, and I'll let the other guy get in. Mike, you've been making a lot of comparisons to Eve, and I think that's been really cool to hear about. I
Has
don't
he
know a lot
never?
about Eve.
We
I
never talked about it.
I think if you want a sleeper pick, there's a game that's like 1-to-1 as a sandbox MMO, and that would be Arcage. Like, I think the way that game
Okay.
handled, especially the way
Really?
the game handled crime, and like
Have you ever
how
played
you
Albion?
what you do. No,
That's 1-to-1.
well,
And
Arcade was
it's
all
even
about
better.
doing a big raid event, and then you get packs, and
Yeah.
you have to bring those packs back into the vendor.
Okay.
And I think the way the game held crime and also open world PvP and encouraging group interaction was really good.
Hmm.
All right, that I'll catch you guys later.
Okay, I'll have
So
to
you just
check
made
out.
me think of Arcade for the first time since they made the English servers all those years ago. I played it for like a month, loved it, and then I don't think I touched it.
Well, then it went like
Yep,
full
I think
pay to
that game
win
had
or
a lot of
whatever.
the same problems this game does as well.
Yeah.
Yep. So, all right. Well, thank you. It was really, I mean, obviously we've
Yeah.
gotten super engaged with the call, so we appreciate it, man.
Yeah, that was a great call. Thank you so much,
Appreciate
Penguin.
All right. Talk to you
I
soon.
appreciate the
Have a good one.
perspective.
Bye now. All right. And next caller is Rogriz. Rogriz, hello.
How we
Can you
doing,
hear
Rob?
us?
How's it going?
Hello.
Good.
Okay, so I got a couple things to talk about. We'll start on a high note, I guess. The 10K server projection that Chris mentioned before. I know it sounds amazing, and I'm pretty sure me and Mike are on the same wavelength, or hell, probably majority of people. That does sound good in theory, but I'm sure you've thought about this possibility, but I'm not sure if you guys remember from this past Alliance 8 event with everyone going to the same like hangar and station locations. We have what are the servers now, like 700, 800, and we've had I've been in the queue timer to get into these stations of like 7 and 8, and what is like each position, like 100 seconds or a minute or something like
We
that.
addressed this already, though, when we talked
Yeah.
about it.
So there's two things that are super important. One is server meshing. Is dynamic server meshing is supposed to solve this exact issue. Because the whole point, like the whole point of dynamic server meshing is realistically right now, if you were to play the game and you had like two fully crewed like javelins, we'll use it as examples. That's what 160 people, but we'll say even 100 people. Everyone's computer is on fire and not working, right? Dynamic server meshing is supposed to solve that issue. And then in addition, we also have like play space. Right now, we don't even have 3 systems. We have 2 systems and a landing zone. There's a lot more still to come to have those 10,000 players spread out. It is a problem, but it is a problem CIG have admitted to and are well aware of, and know they need to
appear to
fix
have
in
the
order to get
tools
the
to
10,000.
resolve. They're not going to make space stations with 300 ways to come out of it. They're just going to instance the station, and you're going to pop out
That's
of it.
what I'm hoping, because like maybe I'm just not thinking about it the correct way, but you can have 700 people or 7 million people. I just when you have all these people going to the station, like you said, if it's not instance, if the station or the hangar or wherever isn't going to have a giant upgrade and have hundreds of hangars, which is never going to happen. I just don't understand how that's even be possible with server meshing, unless, like you said, there's instancing involved. Once you jump to the station, something happens where it's just like a single channel, and it doesn't matter how many people are currently playing on that chart or whatever. It's just you're good to go. You can just go in and out and then bounce out of the instance, and you're back into the real world.
Yeah. There's no way Ever's Harbor is not going to be instanced. Like,
yeah, but that once again, that is what dynamic server meshing is supposed to do.
Good.
It's supposed to say it's supposed to do a thing where it's like if you're at Lawville and across the entire shard, there's only 10 people at Lawville, everyone can see each other. If that then changes because 200 people arrive, it starts to instance. That's supposed to be what dynamic server meshing
It's
does.
a combination of both. Dynamic server meshing and instancing are not the same thing, though. So let's clarify this.
Yeah.
Is dynamic server meshing goes, the server frame rate is getting too low. We need more power. But there is a limit to how many of us we can see on the screen on our own computer. That's instancing. I got to sneeze.
Oh yeah, trust me, I'm well aware of the difference between the two. It's just the me computing in my brain of like, I get it that dynamic server meshing is supposed to be solving a lot of our problem, but I mean, how's that going to help?
Important to note, in theory, is supposed to solve
exactly. Yeah, everything.
We will see how it goes practically.
So is server meshing, right? The regular one was supposed to improve our frame rate.
And that's the last step to what we currently have, correct? Is there something in the intermediary between?
Who knows at this point? Come on.
I know there's like 3 different versions of it, but yeah.
I mean, to be fair, we have 700 now. If the target is 10,000, I don't see an intermediary. I think it'll be
that big of a jump.
I think they'll. Sorry, as in, to be clear, they will go to 1,000, then they'll go to 3,000.
Oh, right.
What I mean is, I don't see a tech intermediary. I think they will just go into dynamic and extra instancing.
We'll see what happens, because that's a huge ass jump for having nothing in between now and 10,000 people for the servers.
They will. The thing that I was mentioning is there won't be a tech difference.
It's not something you could test in a tech preview or on a PTU because there's not enough people. So that is something they're just gonna have a couple of servers. And they're gonna, like, one day they're gonna do a test without any of us knowing, and it's gonna be either really awesome or really shit. And then they're gonna whoop, okay.
They probably do like what they did with the server meshing tests in 2024, which was like, hey guys, tomorrow at 12 p.m. we need 8 billion people to come to Louisville.
Okay.
And then that's the test.
The thing with me is I don't know what is there. There's like three different versions of the SC experience. There's live, there's the live/PU, there's the PTU, and then there's the Evocati. I don't know if there's another one that I'm missing, but
technically I just don't, tech preview, but like
maybe that's what it is. But I don't understand why it just can't be one or the like just one beta server with all that Evocati, PTU, all that just bunched into one, and then the normal PU. If their issue is not having people because everyone's just sick and tired of CIG's way of doing things and just we just don't want to troubleshoot the bugs anymore. It's just so many different hoops to go through, and just I don't understand why it just can't be a beta server of just all that into one, and then the PU, and then once the beta server's looking good, they can start doing the transition, bringing on all of that stuff over to the PU.
I don't know why the PU is not more
tested on, I guess, stress tested.
Just I think I used to want the PU to be like this live service good experience, which is just impossible. So I think we should be in PTUs and we should be in tech previews a lot less, and they should just go with it.
Yeah, I think they should just bite the bullet and just like it's already a kind of a whatever experience already. Yeah, it might suck for the new guys, but why can't we just have everything as the testing server? Because it technically is. I don't know why they're trying to be all coy about it being, we're technically in an alpha. Yeah, alpha? Yeah.
It's because they're trying to treat the game like a live service, as a lot of players do, which is important, right? A lot of players treat the game like live service. Myself included. I 100% do. Even with all its bugs and its terrible gameplay a lot of the time. I treat it as a game that I can progress through and have these goals and all this sort of stuff. If that was to get interrupted all the time, well, then we're just back to like I think like what pre-2021, where we would have a wipe every single patch, which at that time is basically exactly what you're saying, where it's just like every patch is a full test patch.
But yeah, if they can just consolidate it a little bit, just having just a testing server of just an alpha within an alpha of all the new stuff, and then just transition everything to the PU, I think people would be more willing to suck it up and go back to testing like they used to do back in, I don't know, whatever.
I might be misunderstanding you, but they kind of do.
That's what PTU
Like, it is very,
Yeah.
yeah, it is not often that we have an Evo build plus a PTU build. Well, and then we always have live, obviously. It's
Right.
usually
For me, it's just
we
this
have an
Evo
Evo
NDA
already.
shit that I'm sick and tired of.
Yeah, that's like a
So
different thing,
fucking
right? Is
stupid.
like it seems unnecessary for that to be under NDA. I've definitely come around to I've come around to a part of like the wave system, not the fact that you can pay into it. It's kind of silly, but the part of the wave system that's like, you know, when that wave 1 happens and the game's crazy buggy, yeah, you probably don't want to just cram the game full of people because then you're not going to get good testing. But it does feel like Evo just should be just open now because you let us talk about it. The game is not particularly less buggy
Live is
in like
usually
wave
worse.
1 than it is in Evo. Yeah, right? Like if the Evo from this from like last week, the tech preview Evo, if that was not under NDA, I don't think much changes. The UI that was in the game, people aren't going to care about because they know it's for it's placeholder, or at least partially placeholder, right? It's not polished. What advantage do people have to seeing a rock have a number next to it versus us telling you have a rock with a number next to it? It's that value has like disappeared, I think, from them. So it's unnecessary.
Yeah.
And lastly, so I'm assuming you guys watched the recent audio SC. Can I ask you guys honestly, how long of a video do you think all that should have been?
It's just talking to the guys, so an hour.
Yeah.
It's just
Right.
talk. It's not. If it was an ISC, it would have been 5 minutes.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
it's an SEL where they answered community questions, and so I'm okay
also just to highlight the people.
Right, exactly. Yeah. And I have no problem with Chris and oh god, I forgot the spokesman's name. Jared. I have no problem with them giving other teams the limelight and whatnot, and by all means you should. They should be proud of what they've done. But it's like having a coding episode. For me, it's like having a coding episode and having a bunch of guys come in and glaze the game about talking about C++ programs and stuff, where it's just like, yeah, I get that you guys are passionate and all, but the audio team and the visual teams, I'm not saying since day one, but for as long as I've remembered, they've been killing it since day one. And the people that I think we should be hearing from on a not a weekly basis but definitely a monthly basis are the feature teams and all this stuff that we've been waiting on for God knows how long. So the economy team, for example, like I would really like to know what they've been up to for, like, dude, what is what yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, what have they been doing? Like,
there was an RSI sale.
Yeah, they priced the RSI ships.
Yeah, I don't get it, man.
I will say in particular for this year. So last year we didn't get much video content. Jared said he wants to make more video content this year. That means some of these episodes are going to be like this. Every episode is not going to be for everyone. Right?
I did not watch this episode. I did not complain about this episode. I just didn't fucking watch it.
Yep, I didn't watch it either.
And that's okay.
I loved it because I love audio engineering.
Yeah,
I'm a big fan of it. I love what they've done with all their sounds and stuff, and it was cool to listen to them. You know how they come up with ideas and all that sort of stuff was very cool. But yeah, obviously it's not as impactful for gameplay, or at least what you're interested in gameplay.
Yeah.
But if we want more video content, some of it has to be that, because you also cannot have Benoit come onto SEL every single week and say the exact same thing every single week.
And Jared repeat what he said exactly the same way and pretend like he said it differently.
I just
Yeah,
want to. I just want a
exactly.
spread. I just want a spreadsheet
So,
of like, all right, the base building guys. What have you done this month? Okay, boom, boom, boom. Economy
well,
team.
that's the monthly report. Like
Yeah,
you
exactly.
can't,
Yeah, and
because also
and
even if you do that, you're not going to get a 1 hour SEL with the base building guys once every like 3 months. Will still just be the
brother,
exact same
how
thing.
much did
Yeah.
you pay? Like, this is a legitimate question. How much do you have in this game?
Me? 4 or 5K probably.
Even at that value, you do not. I don't think we get to stand here and go, I deserve an update every week at what every
Oh,
person
Yeah,
is
yeah.
doing in the studio at all fucking times. You don't own
Mhm.
the fucking company.
Right.
You know what I mean?
But it's not just that though. Like there's only so much. Like the whole repeating themselves thing would be a problem.
Yeah, that as well. But at the
You
same
know?
time, like even the
Yeah.
idea itself is like we don't deserve what we get already. And so it's a weird thing coming from me, but sometimes we should appreciate what we do get from them,
Yeah.
you know, a little bit. And this just Rog, you just sound very entitled to information that you are not entitled to. Does that make sense?
Yeah, of course.
Without being rude and like putting you down, that's not what I'm trying to do. But it's like you're very entitled. It's a very entitled point of view, and I don't think we get enough. I don't think they do enough, and that's why we don't get enough. So that's more like what Croncy's saying. They're just going to repeat themselves. They're not working on the game that we want to hear about. Do you know what
But
the
even
base
if they
building
are,
guys
like,
did?
I
Do you know
still, I
what the
still
base building
think
guys did this week? Nothing.
no, they probably did some stuff. But like, do you want them to tell you for the 30th time about how like, well, we had some problems with this like one specific thing, and we spent a lot of meetings
Dude,
and
it's the
things trying
same
to go through
three
it. You know?
guys. The same guys that communicated base building were the same guys that communicated engineering are the same guys that communicated crafting. They're not working on
Really?
it.
Yeah. Well, they're the team leads, so that
Yeah,
makes
they're
sense.
the leads, but how many
Yeah.
people are under them?
Yeah, and I would like to hear from them when it comes closer to like I don't want to hear from the people under them every week. I want to
I
hear
don't
from
want.
the people under them
Yeah,
when the patch is about to come out that they've just worked.
I
Right?
don't want to hear
That's
that we tweaked a value in Graybox on this.
exactly.
Yeah, because you would be just as bored and be complaining just as much about an episode that had
Yeah.
nothing of value in it.
And then
But also,
la-
if it helps, guess what? Next week's episode is gonna be good. I forget the name of the dev, but
Sean Tracy.
we've got it. Sean Tracy, big tech dev, right? He's gonna be so probably going to be more impactful for how we actually play the game. So
and lastly, back to the like what the ideal in-game economy would look like. Obviously, Mike, you're a huge fan of Eve and all that. I played it for a little bit, so I'm not quite well versed into the intricacies of how soon they update prices, like how like volatile the market is. But have you guys heard or played Black Desert Online by chance?
No.
years ago.
Yeah. So the way that
Describe it.
yeah, of course. So the way that the economy works, so I'm sure it was all zeroed out eventually, but let's say an item was $1,000 or
Mhm.
credits, and it's like that for all the items in the game. And at that $1,000 credit average, there's like pre-order slots and above and below that item. So it goes up like by like 100 credits going up, and down, down, down. And it's probably maybe up to 10 slots on both sides. And depending on if that thing has a bunch of pre-orders for that very max slot, then that max slot then becomes the new average and it comes back down, and then the market gets updated. And it does that all like throughout the day, all day, every day. So it's literally a living, breathing market. So I was just curious if you've had seen or heard of that, which market, like internal economy market, would be your ideal
Eve.
Star Citizen experience?
Yeah,
Eve.
yeah, Eve. But also, I think what you described is not dissimilar to Eve. Like that sounds like a buy orders, basically.
Okay.
Wait,
But
so
Eve
correct me if I'm wrong.
shows
So
the buy order themselves, not this average thing he's talking about. I'm confused.
yeah, yeah. So in Eve, players will submit a buy order, which like if you're a person and you've just looted something sick that's really really cool, but you don't want to wait for someone to purchase your item, you can basically just auto sell it to the like highest bidder, right?
Yeah.
Um, over the course of the day, that'll like all change because you'll have a certain amount. Like person A might have 10,000 units of this at this price. The next price might have 600 units, whatever, and so on. And that'll change throughout the day. Extra orders will go up, whatever. But the price sort of keeps changing. And then in Eve, it's extra crazy because people just sit in station and only do buy and sell orders the whole day. Is that kind of similar to what you're describing from BDO, or?
I think so. Like I said, like I've had a very brief stint with EVE Online. I was a minor, and I had an incident within like the first month of me playing. My jaw literally dropped of like I can't believe that just happened. I literally couldn't do anything, and I lost hundreds of millions worth of ISK on my mining rig of upgrading everything. I just stopped playing because I'm like I wasn't even mad. My jaw literally dropped of like I cannot believe that just happened. If that's an in-game, a real in-game feature or gameplay mechanic, I'm not letting that happen to me again. So
Some full loot is good. Some full loot will make you uninstall the game. And
yeah,
that's what Eve does sometimes.
Well,
I've done
undocking
it
with-
multiple times.
Undocking in a game where there's risk of death that with something that you're not willing to lose is not that is a you problem.
But Mike, the thing that I undocked with was my station, and then it got killed.
Yeah.
Anyway,
anyway. But it does sound pretty similar. But if as long it's like how often throughout the day does that a market fluctuate, or does it fluctuate at all?
It fluctuates constantly, but
Constantly.
because it's so because there are so many people doing it, and because economy is it's probably, if not the top 5, it's like the actual top 1 thing that people play Eve for. The fluctuations are like very minute, and it's because you can like go into training. You can train your skills to like pay less taxes and make it so that minute like change is pretty good. You don't
The
see
market
the
updates
macro
every
changes.
second.
It updates every
Yes.
second, but the macro changes are usually either patch related or like wars will cause macro changes.
So like a big example would be this, right? Is you put up a buy orders to say that I want to buy and I'm going to use premium currency as the example because this is something that happened to people that was pretty fun. I want to buy the premium currency for 5 million credits per unit, okay? And that right now, that price is 4.2 million. So people who held on to that premium currency for a really long time get to go, oh, this idiot hasn't updated his buy order. He's going to pay 5 million now for something that's only worth 4.2, and they're going to sell to him. So it's like if you're not paying attention to the trends and what's happening and stuff like that, you can get hit. At the same time, I'm literally sitting at my home station right now selling the one item that I make, and there's people. It's the weekend, so people are online. So if I say that I'm selling it for 26,730, which I'm doing right now, I'm looking at it. There's a guy who's selling for 26,740, and all day people are gonna try and leapfrog me, and then the price goes down and down and down, and then all of a sudden that thing is not worth building anymore because it's now unprofitable. And then
it definitely sounds like
buys,
BDO then.
Yeah, it also sounds exactly like what was described with the Star Citizen commodity trading, that like, hey, eventually this route that you want to do is not going to be profitable.
Yeah.
But it doesn't feel good because it's just not meaningful things that like money isn't meaningful, and neither is the material that you're dealing with. Where games like BDO and games like Eve, the things are meaningful that you're interacting with.
Yeah.
That's all.
To sort of like go back to like, well, what do you want your economy in Star Citizen to like be?
Yep.
I want
I want it to be Eve, but it's
almost the
unrealistic.
complexity of Eve.
Yeah.
I want like I like the idea of having your buy and sell orders. I like the idea of some people playing Star Citizen and just playing the economy.
Yep.
I think that could be really cool, really fun, right? And just be enjoyable.
Do
But
you see it? Yeah.
just continue. I don't want to open up my like buy and sell orders, and like as I'm regularly playing the game, have to deal with necessarily the amount of depth that Eve has. Right? Like I want it to be like maybe one step removed and maybe one step simpler than that, where it's like you can still do a lot of this gameplay, but it's maybe not as punishing. It doesn't require as much like of investment of your actual in real life time to mess around with, but you still get it's hard. I still want all of those interactions to happen. I still want a war that is happening between two orgs to affect the economy. That's cool as hell.
Yeah.
That's cool as hell. So yeah, I want at least a fucking auction house to work. Like, let me do that, please, dear God.
It only works if the things we create are consumables. Everything you create needs to be a consumable to some extent.
Yeah.
Just have an in-game UEX or what they do with WoW, like you said, the in-game auction house, and I think that will calm like that 90% of us. Like, okay, we can work with this, even though there really isn't that much to kind of bid on. But yeah,
and definitely have it be more than just UEX, because UEX is basically a it's just a not like a job posting, but you know what I mean. It's just I have this for sale. Contact me, right?
Yeah,
have it be
EVE
more
Online and BDO like buy order, sell order thing where it's automated. Yeah. It has to be automated. That is the thing. Is there is way too much weight. Like, guys, our org was one of the professional UEX sellers, and the amount of stupidity and time that takes. A guy contacts you on UEX. They know the UEX tells you where I am, what the price is, and how many of the things I have. And this guy contacts me when he's in another star system and literally 40 minutes away, and he's not even at the station that I'm at. So you're waiting 55 minutes to sell a thing to one person, where I should just be like, this is what I'm selling this thing for, and that guy go, oh, I want that. Go into his Moby Glass and buy it, and then go pick it up himself.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. The important thing that I really like with the buy and sell order system is it automates the purchasing. It does not automate the delivery.
Pickup. Yeah,
and so now you get that extra level of hiring a courier to go and get your stuff and pick it up or whatever.
Yep.
Or you yourself going and picking it up, delivering it, whatever. And then like that is clearly like that is seemed to be a part of the vision for the game, not just from Chris, but from like a lot of the people who have been responsible for these kinds of features, is having those kinds of interactions with other players to fully flesh it out.
Yeah. But this call has gone on a super long, and we have one other guy.
Yep, absolutely. Yep.
So
I was just about to say, am I keeping you from something?
Yeah. Not from leaving, but we want to get to that guy because he's been waiting a while. So
no, go ahead. Yep.
Yeah, Rogers.
Yeah, we appreciate the call.
The calls today have been awesome.
I should be sick more often. Apparently, I get more excited.
Yeah, exactly. So appreciate it. Good combos.
Yep. Have a good one.
All right, Rog, be good, dude. All right, next caller is Calamity. Calamity, are you there?
How are we doing, Calamity?
Sorry for making you wait so long.
Yo, what's up, guys?
How's it going?
Doing good.
Nice.
So I kind of wanted to piggyback off the last guy. He was talking about BDO and a pretty long time BDO player, and he was making like comparisons between Eve and BDO, and it's kind of the same. The only thing is, it doesn't have the the collateral and picking up. And
Sure.
if they did something like that in Star Citizen, it'd be crazy. It'd be
Yes.
Yeah, that one's gonna be interesting. I have a feeling that we probably, at least for the first while, we probably won't be doing like in-game career contracts. We'll probably just be
Mhm.
responsible for it ourselves, right?
Mhm.
But I would love them to introduce something like that.
And to be fair, Eve career contracts, um, most haulers do not make money. They do it for the love of the game. I don't know why they don't charge more or whatever, but it is like one of the most unprofitable things to do in Eve Online.
It's because the people that are profitable are multi-boxing like 20 accounts with all with jump freighters.
Yeah.
And so they're making money, and if you want to compete with them, you need to make 1 credit an hour.
Yeah. It's kind of
Oh my
brutal.
goodness.
Good point.
Yeah, man. Like that system would be so good because it also had another system called the war system at the same time, where they had basically the PvP orgs had their own little PvP going on everywhere, and then they would get
Yep.
taxes from the area. So if they had something like Star Citizen, which I think it was like 2 years ago when I first started, they had like a sitcom where there was like shields on like planets or something like that for base building.
Yes. Yeah, so
And
there will be essentially kind of like a dynamic activity, but part of your base building is like you will be able to um essentially get a bunch of resources. You put that into this machine that then gives you like invulnerability for a certain amount of time, and then it drops.
Yeah.
yeah, because that's like your perfect sink then, so you can
Yeah.
just spend money to like build up your org, get like territory and stuff like that. I think that's like a really good idea. Maybe they should like steal from other these games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
They
but
should
I
steal
also
from
wanted
all
to,
the games because they don't have any.
Yeah.
oh yeah, I agree 100%. Like they already steal the ideas from other ships from
Yep.
different things,
Oh
so
yeah.
they should definitely steal ideas. Also, I wanted to talk about the Alliance event as well,
Mhm.
because I'm probably like one of the rare people that didn't just stay in a station and press left bracket most of the time.
See, you say that, but I feel like every caller who's called in has been
Well,
like, "Oh yeah, I actually did all the things." I don't think
yeah,
it is rare. I think a lot more people actually did the missions than we might have originally thought.
really,
Mm.
that's crazy. Because I had my friends try Star Citizen during this event, doing the free fight. Pretty bad.
Yep.
They couldn't play much, but like what I did let them do is we went out in my Cuddy Blue, and we just
Mhm.
started OM trapping and grabbing people's commodities and turning them in for them. So literally, that was like one of the best things other than the resource drive, where you can just turn in other people's things that you just took. So it's just like itself a real fun way to play the game that wasn't really like everybody was doing. So stuff like that's really neat,
Oh
like
yeah.
compared to other games.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's you did it and you had fun. But the fact
Mhm.
that you don't have to is the problem,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
The fact that like
yeah.
people like
Not as
you're
in
not an
you don't have
MMOer as
to
much,
like
like where you like
everyone
min-max
should have to
everything.
do this.
Yeah,
It's like in order to get the rewards, it required no effort.
exactly.
Uh,
And it's like,
yeah,
guys, you fucked it up again. Is
yeah.
kind of the disappointment factor. If you had fun with
'Cause
it, good for you.
Yeah, because everybody was shareable, right? So in
Yeah.
Resource Drive, the last event, it wasn't shareable, I think. So everybody had
Yeah,
to do
and
it
and this
singular.
started out where parts of it was shareable and parts of it wasn't, and it was like, ooh, good
Yeah.
idea, and then they just, yeah,
Yeah. Well, what you call it? I wanted to talk about the what you call it as well. The interview with Chris Roberts
okay,
Mhm.
as well, and basically there was just like one part that kind of got like irked me a bit because I haven't spent much money in the game. I spent like 250 on my
Yep.
Super Hornet, and basically he was talking about, so I'm not like in I'm trying not to be entitled or nothing like that, but he said that this game was like the lost child in his interview. And I'm like, isn't this the only game that's making you money right now? What do you mean lost child?
I think it was more he was describing like because it's the game he wanted to make years ago when it was impossible. Turns out it was also been impossible the last 14 years. But
Yeah, like if you play
yeah.
freelancer, he was trying to make Star Citizen then, and he even said it in
Yeah.
the interview. Like he wanted to bring it online but wasn't able to, and then the community actually did after he lost control of the game, and it got sold to Microsoft, or they took over or whatever.
Okay.
So that's what he was talking about. I had a bone to pick with him because he was like, "Oh, all these people saying things about the game's a scam and all this stuff," and it's like that. Like they always ignore the obvious like red flags that they've shown us over and over again of like they don't prioritize Star Citizen, and they always ignore it. They always ignore the fact that they don't. And then they're like, "Oh, I don't understand why everyone's mad." It's like, because the game that we're all interested in is the one that you're talking about, caring about, when we know you don't. And it's okay that you don't. I'm not upset that you don't. Make Squadron great and focus on that.
Yeah.
But stop lying and pretending that you actually care about Star Citizen, because you don't right now. You're paying attention to one thing, and that's okay.
It's also, I think, like even more from that, like the few sentences he was talking about there is like, I think he was more just mad that people don't know anything about the project bar it being a scam. And it's like, that's not the fault of the game. That's like your fault.
That's your
like
fault.
imaging, man.
And honestly, you can still be mad about that too, but it is your own. It is your own fault, right?
It is not the people calling out the very obvious. I am taking money from one game that people are excited for and putting it into another game that is entirely different in many ways, and making that game with it. Like, come on.
Yeah, including like that Ashes just failed too. Everybody got eyes on Star Citizen now.
Yeah, everyone's a little nervous because of that, but the two are different.
Yeah, they're extremely different stories.
Yeah.
Honestly, at the same time, though, I reckon if Ashes was making $100 million a year, maybe it wouldn't have failed.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I can't see this game going down though, because it's like it's so massive in funding, and like everybody just loves it, man. The community just loves this game.
Bro, there was probably 10 times throughout its development that it was probably on the brink of death. So, yeah, don't feel that.
I think the one thing that would kill it,
for sure.
because I think even today they could keep postponing 1.0 and whatnot, but the one thing that would kill it is Squadron failing. That would kill it, because if they've invested that much time into Squadron and they don't get an influx of players and an influx of money, then it's like, oh shit. And
I don't think it changes anything.
That would do it. You don't think that? No, I don't. I think
all the money
it doesn't need to like be a crazy success. It failed. I think it would. I think
Squadron is important, I think, for just two things. It is for investors to get their huge return back, and for the developers to be released from that game and brought onto the one that we want them to work on.
Yeah, but you got to think about it in the ways of like, well, like if Squadron does fail, why did it fail? Is it the features? Cool. Now they want to redo all the features, which means they want to redo.
No, yeah, I get that. But
you know, like there's so many knock-on effects that I think would just, I think would just kill it. People would just finally not be willing to do it. I mean, you even mentioned the investors, right? If the game fails, then they get mad because they don't get their money.
Yeah.
I mean, are we like serious considering like the single player game Squadron 42 being like, oh, this is going to like save SC though? Because the thing is,
in some ways,
I think it's a question of does it. I don't think it's will it save SC. I think it's will it hinder it or will it help it.
It currently is blocking the game working, because all they do is work on it. Yeah, it hurts it, but the moment it comes out is it should start to help it more. Like they sold us this bullshit idea that it's feature complete and more people are going to come and work on Star Citizen, and they did, but not as many as we assumed there would be. And
they made it sound like it was going to be pretty thick.
Yeah,
and it ended up being like one major patch where we got a bunch of Squadron features, and then it was back to Star Citizen stuff.
Yeah, and then it was like, oh, we're just going to reuse all these assets and make ships. And your Grey Cat Shiv is the ship that we were going to use for Squadron but never did. And or we actually still are, and we're just going to sell it to you anyway. Yeah. And that's how Squadron has benefited Star Citizen for now. For me, it's dev time. It's dev time and getting the investors out from our involvement. You made your stuff, get out.
Yeah, the thing is, I just don't see it. I just don't see it's going to be like anything. If anything, it's going to be like a fart in the wind type thing, where they just put it out.
Devs won't be working on it. That's all that matters. Devs will be working on Star Citizen again instead of on Squadron. It's not about the game itself, at least not for me.
Well, I hope it comes out good, but like I haven't even heard about this game because I'm like 2 years into SE. And I didn't hear about it until 6 months ago.
That's about when they stopped selling Squadron on the website. It was about 2 years ago.
Yeah, so like I didn't even know they were working on a second game, and I was like, "Why are you working on a second game when this game is making so much money?" And meanwhile, the moth doesn't even work. And I'm like, "What?"
Yeah. 3.7, hopefully.
So I will say, Star Citizen wasn't always making so much money. It's been like since 2020, where like the yearly numbers have been crazy.
Yeah, excessive.
Yeah. But. And last thing before I go, I guess, they're making new content for refueling, I hear, and they're making a new shipboard as well.
Yeah.
So I heard someone say this as well. What's going on?
That was last week.
Yeah, last week.
Right.
Yeah, sorry, I'm a little behind, I guess. But the thing is, you think this ship will come out broken too?
Probably.
Or
if it's using the current refueling system, yeah, probably.
Because I don't know if they have a Q&A team or anything like that. So I'm not super.
You're in, buddy.
Like
you're the QA team.
Yeah.
You are.
Oh, bro, I don't even have Evocati, bro.
You're the
I guess
QA
it's live
team.
service for me.
They do have a QA team.
You're live QA.
Because the QA team is also like weirdly another one of like the more public teams in the company. Hear a lot from people, probably because they're just allowed to go into people's streams and stuff. But from the sounds of it, it's got like a quick turn through rate. They either end up moving out of QA, going into design teams, or just leaving QA.
I think that's every company. The entry level positions are always just
that's
fair,
to
turn around.
Okay, because you think they're going to do refueling the same way, like the Starfarer, or is it going to be something different? Because
they probably will for the release or whatever the ship is, but they do need to change it.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
That's what we were mentioning earlier in the pod. Like, refueling is a failed mechanic, not necessarily like in part because it never works, but like the actual mechanic itself is just not how players play the game.
Best UI in the game, though.
Oh, the sickest UI.
Oh yeah, it's pretty cool.
Let's go fluid mechanics, fake fluid mechanics, but fluid mechanics.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, so it needs like a full reevaluation in order to be something players want to do. And I think of some of that. I think part of this conversation was also that there was going to be like refueling missions, possibly. And that could be part of it. Maybe it needs to be more static. Maybe refueling can't be that dynamic in this game, because, as someone said in our chats earlier today, this is not Elite Dangerous. If the reason people refuel in Elite Dangerous is because they are halfway across the galaxy, multiple weeks worth of real life in-game travel away, and they have so much money they cannot afford to lose.
Oh my god.
That doesn't happen in Star Citizen, so we'll just backspace.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, yeah. I guess if they had a whole thing of Karenite in the back, they wouldn't backspace. But like
they still probably would. Like it's
really.
Yeah, you have a marker to get back to your ship. You just go back.
Yeah. And even then, cool. I've got it in the back of the ship. I don't need a refuel. Bill will come pick me up, and then he can take it.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I'm cooked, man. I was gonna buy the ship. Never mind now.
I want it to
But-
be cool, but like I
if
want
we
the
refueled
like,
stations and stations ran out of fuel and would be
Yeah.
unable to refuel regular players, I would be so engaged with that. But their ideas
refuel
of like,
your base.
yeah,
right?
bases,
Like, that
all
sort of
sorts
stuff.
Yeah.
Ah,
What they
okay.
want to do is you refuel an NPC or an NPC refuels you. Those are the two missions they want to make. Boring. Put me to sleep.
Yeah, it sounds kind of
No alarm. I'm
like-
not waking up from this one. Not waking up early.
Yeah, but but that's the thing. I don't know how you make this content engaging in this game.
Didn't they have when Pyro released, like they nerfed fighters, like single-seater fighters and like smaller ships, fuel capacity to go to places?
So they did a huge fuel nerf.
Yeah.
Everyone stopped playing Star Citizen, and then they half unnerfed it. So it's like the distances you can make are like far less than you could pre-Pyro, but there's still fuel stations everywhere. But then if there wasn't fuel stations everywhere, people would just never go to Pyro. It's this thing of like, you either get stuck immediately because of the way the game works, or you just need to make it that everyone can refuel really easily.
I mean, people still
This
don't
is
go
the
to Pyro.
the problem. Also, the reason that, like, once again, the least dangerous one is the one that I always bring up, because like the fuel rats are like the
That's where I
it's
hear
the most
the
obvious thing.
thing is, yeah.
But you can the big part of that game as well is you get caught out awkwardly. You refuel yourself normally all the time as you're traveling, right? Just as long as you're on the right stars. Then you might accidentally, on a little bit of a tangent, get caught out because you took a couple of stars that you can't refuel from. Now you're stuck there. That's not going to happen in Star Citizen because you know where you're going to go all the time. You don't have a billion stars to attempt to travel through.
yeah.
You have very known locations
You have
that you're traveling.
3.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
in those 3, there's 20 fuel stations. So you will literally plot out, I will go to this fuel station, I'll go to this station. So now player refueling is irrelevant.
So they probably have to take off like stations in Pyro then. Like actually,
Yes,
like
but
remove
then
them.
you get the second problem of you are now running out of fuel every 20 minutes when you play the game, and that's too much, right? You know, the opposite problem where it's like you're running out of fuel way, way, way too often. So that's what I'm saying. That whole system needs to change in like every way.
Yeah, it's above my pay grade, man.
Oh, 100%. I have no idea how to fix this. I just know it sucks.
Man. Well, it was great talking to you guys, man. You guys helped me out through a lot of 10-hour work weeks at the airport. So
Nice, man.
keep it up. I appreciate it. You have a great night,
Yeah.
okay?
All
Yeah,
right,
thank you very
too.
much for the call.
Thanks for calling, Calamity.
Appreciate it, Tom.
Bye now. Somehow we did a 2-hour pod. What happened? That was not expected.
It's because we just had great callers and talking fun stuff.
Yeah, man. The callers were really good, and we kind of just let them talk about whatever, which we don't normally do.
It was all pretty related most of the
Yeah.
time. But yeah.
All right. Well, hey, just wait 2 minutes because we're getting ready to go, and I'll help you. We have this problem with the dog now that she doesn't want to go outside unless all of us are together. So I was like, we're ending the show.
Adorable and annoying.
Yes, exactly. Very adorable. She's just looking at me like, Daddy, are we gonna go together? But
Yep.
no, not right now. But yeah. So that's the show. It was a bit of an iffy, slow week, but still something kind of cool to talk about. Whoa, I just got
Yeah.
a bunch of gifted subs. So thank you, Escaped, for that. You got yours last
That's who
week.
gifted me subs last
Wait,
week.
is it the same guy last
just
week?
going back and forth. Yeah.
Well, thank you, dude.
Let's go.
Appreciate it. Well, actually, hold on. Are you sure that wasn't in your channel? Because somebody in your channel said thank
No,
you
that
for
was
the
yours, that was
gifted.
yours.
Okay,
That
I'm
was yours.
confused.
Yep.
But
He got
yeah,
one of the subs. That's why he said that.
got it. But regardless, this week a little slow. Next week, maybe the Sean Tracy episode is going to be decent.
Mhm.
What
PTU, please. Surely.
Yeah,
as well.
PTU, hopefully open one that we're like showing you and engaging with, and there's updates to the things that we've already done. So big excitements for next week, I think. Big things
Yeah.
to look forward to because the end of March is coming. And yeah. And I'm only going to be in town for like 2 weeks in April. So, I'll only be in town the first 2 weeks in April, and then I'm away for 5 days, and then I come back. So like I'm going to miss some of the good parts of the patch, but yeah, I don't know. I'm excited. And in the end, let us know what you guys think. If there's any like topics you would want us to talk about, because I know me and Croncy are thinking about, hey, when there is nothing, what do we want to engage with? Like
we'll brew up some stuff.
Yeah, I mean, there was somebody in chat that was like, well, if you're refueling stations, and it's one of my org mates, Quarkon, like if you're refueling stations, that's just cargo hauling, and I'm like, yes, but it's cargo hauling.
But that's
fuel.
Cool. Yeah,
it's different. It's like, all right, well, if
and
I'm cargo
when
hauling
I've made the
ammo,
fuel,
and I'm cargo hauling fuel, and how did I make the fuel? Like, there's all the other things. The haul is just the haul. It's everything else that goes on with it. And
also,
why was that important? Did I made an impact on the game world that I'm playing in? Like that kind of stuff. So,
but also refueling a player is also just cargo hauling. It's the same thing.
It's true. It is. That's really it. That's all it is. But this has like a purpose to it. That's the difference. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. We appreciate you. Follow us on all our socials, all the stuff. You guys know what to do. I don't think you need to hear it. Subscribe, everything. I appreciate it. And we will catch you guys next week. And don't forget.
He's not ready. Where's his phone?
I was waiting for you to put it up and then.
Just end the stream. Just end it.
Answer the call, guys. All right.